ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, fappers of all ages, what is going on, guys? It is your main man, Sir Faps in the house, aka a sheriff, a Fappy, and Fappy time. Now we got a lot of stuff going on this episode, and I mean quite a bit. And actually, a lot of it is going to be redstone. Actually, you know what? We may in fact do an entire redstone episode because we got two devices that we want to work on today. But just to give you guys a little bit of an update on what's going on in the world right now, I just finished up a short little stream collecting some stuff in a big mine shaft that I found. So big shout out to the guys that joined into the stream. Hey, get out of here, fool! Get. So as I presumed, none of you are yet to claim your free horses. Come on, guys. But in sadder news, my actual horse that luckily we didn't name yet. You see this abandoned little stable that we have here. My horse that we were trying to figure out a name for, and well, in reality we would have named him already, but we didn't have a name tag. He's gone missing. And it's pretty hard for me. No, I'm joking. But there was a glitch. We're in the new snapshot, and there was a glitch, and I was riding him, and something happened, and I had to relog, and when I logged back in, he was gone. So maybe one day we'll find him just wandering. I don't know. But we got some stuff happening this episode. Last episode, we talked about this big ditch down here. And I told you guys this was going to be something that we had in store this episode. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So if you guys watched the last Fapisode, I showed a device that basically works as an alarm clock, right? So this is a note block alarm clock system. Hey, that's kind of cool. It rhymes. But what this is, it's a big tier system. And I actually made this myself. It's a big system. That's actually fairly simple to create, and what you do is you take these 4 note blocks here, and then you kind of stack them on top of each other, and they all give off a different sound, right? Using dirt below them, and then the note block on top, and this works as a chime system, right? So we set these to like different chimes. So we have dun dun no, let's go. So we go dun dun. Dun, 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 dun. So we attach redstone to this, and then they all go off, you know. So what I'm gonna do right now, let me just do a little bit of setup for this first one, and then I will show you guys how it all works. Sounds good? Sounds good. Alrighty, gang. So we are back, and we got our redstone little note block tower going on here. And so this is already preset. I already did this behind the scenes, so I can show you guys the little chime that it makes. So it goes, and then we come back this way. Bam! So that's actually the Westminster chimes. That's actually a song that they do in at one of like the Westminster cathedrals or something like that. And I always hear it in grandfather clocks. And so that's going to be our signal for the beginning of day and night. So we have this divided into 2 pieces, obviously. This one is nighttime, and then these top 2 are daytime. And so the way that these are activated, these are actually going to be activated by 2 separate daylight sensors. So the one for nighttime is down here. And since it is a daylight sensor, we have to invert it to nighttime, which is why we're using this redstone torch with this sticky piston and this redstone block. And so this comes out all the way over here to the side of this mountain here, and then we have our daylight sensor. So let's cover this up right now. Oh crap, I don't have I don't have the materials. What happened to my yellow clay, man? Whatever. We'll just fill it up like that, okay? And so we can do this with the nighttime sensor over here. You see how like this mountain and the buildings are kind of in front of it? The nighttime sensor isn't going to be as sensitive as the daytime. And I'll come over here and show you the daytime. So these are sensitive to the amount of light that they're getting, which is why the daytime is on the top and has to be a little bit closer to an open surface here. So we have the daylight sensor stretching out all the way over here, and the reason why this is because the sun is going to come up in the east and it's going to set in the west. So right here we don't have any mountains or buildings obstructing the way, and that way our light sensor can get as much light as possible, which means that the daylight sensor can go off as close as possible to morning, which is very, very good, which means it'll go off closer to the beginning of daytime. If we had that set in front of like a mountain or something, it would take longer, and then it would actually go off more at like noon per se than morning. So we'll come down here, and now we'll actually start working out how to do this. So we're going to start with the nighttime sensor. And so the redstone block is going to be, this piston is going to shoot it out this way, and then it's going to start right here. And so all of these repeaters that we're using are set to 4 ticks. That way that this block goes off, and then this block goes off, then that block goes off, and then this block goes off. And so they all go off in order instead of like all at once, right? So this is a very simple design. So this comes out, hits the repeater. The reason why we use the repeaters is just so we can keep the current going and also delay the sounds, right? So we're just going to stretch this all the way out across like a so. And then what we're going to do, this is 8 chimes, right, for one sequence. So what we're going to do, once it hits this final block on this level, then it's going to stretch up, I believe, 3 levels. So let's get one right here, like a so, and then we can just repeat it going this way. Shabam, guys. So we have repeated our system coming up this way. So as you can see, it comes up these little blocks here onto the 3rd level, and then all we're doing is just repeating the pattern. Now right above us is the daytime chimes, right? So this is not going to be connected. This is why I used gray going around this way. It's the exact same pattern with both the note blocks and our redstone. The only thing that you want to make sure you don't do is attach one to another, because then they'll all go off at the same time, and you don't want that happening. So our nighttime is set up, and I've also set up our daytime, so we'll come up here and just check it out. So as you can see, this is activated right now because it is daytime, but it only goes off once. So once the sun goes down, this will turn off, and then when the sun comes back up, it'll turn on, and then the chimes will go off once. So this isn't like the most perfect system in the world. I know with lag, and I mean every server in world has some amount of lag, this sometimes will not always go off perfectly. I would say maybe like 20%, 30% of the time, 2 chimes will go off at the same time, or one chime will accidentally be delayed, and that's not from the redstone, it's just from the lag. But it doesn't matter. It's it's actually really, really nice. And I don't know, where's the sun right now? Yeah, we're not crazy. It's almost going down. So in just a second, we'll see the nighttime chime go off. As you can see, it's turned off right now, and so once that sun goes down, that'll turn on, and then our daytime will turn off. So I told you guys I was working on 2 redstone contraptions for this episode, right? This is the one that I built myself, and I kind of wanted it to showcase it to you guys and just show you how it works and how it's built. And it's actually really easy. The redstone noob like myself could build this, so I'm sure you guys can. I don't know what's been going on, but like I've really felt the urge to just implement redstone stuff into my builds. I mean, I try to stick to older style builds. And redstone is kind of like technologically advanced, but stuff like this, just like a clock tower, or what we're doing over here, which I will show you in just a sec, these things fit into the world without actually feeling crazy technologically advanced. So I think right now what we'll be able to do is just seal this baby off, because it is officially complete. Alrighty, so we have filled this puppy up, and doesn't this look so nice? You know, we obviously, we could not fit this humongo thing into the bell tower. I wish I could make it more compact, but I don't think it's possible. So we've had to put it underground, but we're going to act like, you know, it's playing from the bell tower, you know. So before it even becomes nighttime, it's going to go off and it's going to alert us that nighttime is coming. So right about now, it should be going off. Bueller. Oh, ha, 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 yeah, baby. Oh, that is really, really cool. That makes me so happy. You know, I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm a redstone noob. I have no idea how redstone works, really. And so for me to be able to make something like that, it makes me so happy. It makes me feel that anyone can do anything in Minecraft. So we're gonna sleep right now. But right when we sleep, right when we're done sleeping, this alarm is going to go off again. So you ready? Uno, dos, tres. And go. Oh. No. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just so giddy with happiness. But we have two contraptions, right? So we've talked a little bit, just a tiny bit of what's going to be right here. This is the Fappy Springs Bank, the Bank of Fappy Springs. And so what is the color of money, of course? Wait. Green. So I've been trying to implement in the front facade some greens, but the problem is when you walk up kind of close, you can't see that, you know. So I'm thinking maybe we'll have to implement it more in the corners and more up into the roof. So remember, this is a bank. We want it to look very strong and very sturdy, right? So we're gonna have a flat roof. Unlike the church, how this is a steeple, right? That's what they call the roofs of churches, right? Steeples. And so what I'm doing is I'm using the diorite for our kind of corner pillars, and then I'm also using the stone, and that's really going to give this a feel of like big sturdiness. And I know you're asking, Sir Fappy, why don't you use iron? It's a bank. Well, I'm in my single player world and I don't have a lot of resources, so I'm not going to be able to implement a lot of iron blocks into this, right? But this is what I wanted to show you. Now, the alarm clock, that's my own design and I'm very proud of it, but this I had to get a little bit of help on because I was not quite sure how to do it. What we have going right here is a combination lock for our bank vault, right? So if I give you guys a little bit of a tour of this bank right now, this orange is just the outline. You know, this isn't going to be here, okay? So you walk in here and we have this decorative, you know, kind of front entrance with some nice plants and stuff like that, and it's all nice and dandy. It's a bank, so we have to make it look fancy, right? And so there are going to be some walls right here separating the front to the back, and then once you walk in back here, on the right side, we're going to have a whole bunch of Wild West bank tellers, right? So you're going to, you know, the citizens of Fappy Springs would come in here and they'd come to the bank teller and they would trade their whatever they wanted and they would deposit their cash and stuff like that. But over on this side, we have our combination lock to our bank vault, which will be right here. So I got this inspiration from Generic B. You know, when 1.8 first came out, Generic B immediately came out and said, you know, these item frames are now redstone activated. So, you know, if we move this, you know, it activates redstone behind it, right? And so Generic B's system was out of this world. I mean, it was amazing, and especially of like how compact it was. It was out of this world, right? But it used a button, and the button kind of caused it to be a lot bigger than it should have been, right? Because the button reset it. But what we have going here is something that I saw from Seth Bling when he was working with combination locks. So instead of using a reset button, he just had 3 item frames like this, and you put in the right code and the door here would open, right? So right now, the redstone behind it is turned off. So Generic Bees was like, it was a lot bigger than this, and Seth Bling's was fairly small, and I've really tried my best to keep this small because we have to fit it into our bank, which is kind of the problem with their combination locks. You know, they're very hard to fit into something that's above ground. So right now, this is actually our combination. So right now, this is our combination. All of these are set to literally 1. It's kind of like setting your password to password, right? So right here, as you can see, I had to keep it small, so I just thought the best idea, there's no one actually in our world, so why not just set them all to 1? So once we're actually finished with this, you know, we'll come over here, and then we'll just go like that, and we'll just make them all crazy like. So actually, let's just set them like this for right now. Bam. Okay, so I don't have any sticky pistons, right? So this is the idea. You correctly input you correctly input the combination, right? And then we have sticky pistons that open up this this door right here, right? But I don't have a lot of sticky pistons. So what I'm going to show you right now, this is actually attached to an iron door. So as you can see, it's closed because the redstone is turned on, which is keeping this iron door closed. But if we put in the correct combination lock, we just go like so, set it to 1, and as you can see, it's not, you know, the door isn't opened. Even though we've set 1, it still hasn't opened. And we'll go to this one, and we'll set it to 1. Whoopsie daisy, and 1. Still, the door has yet to open, and so we set the last one to 1, and bam! There we go, and our door opens. So this way, our sticky pistons would automatically be closed, and then once you put the combination in, the sticky pistons turn off, and then voila, you enter into the bank vault. I think this is actually going to go down. I think that would be pretty cool. So this opens up, and then there's a spiraling staircase down into like this humongous bank vault. That would be very, very cool. So lots of stuff coming in Fappy's world. I am very, very excited to get this bank done. I love the way it looks already. This is really cool. And then I think next we're actually going to work on the cha-cha tree. Guys, thank you all for watching. Please stay tuned because we have so much more coming for you guys, and I am very, 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 very excited. If you're new, please sub. If you've been here, throw me a like, throw me a comment. Be sure to answer the comment question of the day. It's been real, y'all. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little redstone-y episode. My name is Sir Faps a lot, aka Sheriff Fappy. Fap on, and I will see you guys in the next Fappy's World.